Hi students! This week with your word study, we're going over prefixes. So I just wanted to go over an anchor chart with you all to give you some background information and to help clarify any questions that you may have. So let's take a look. Prefixes. A prefix is added to the blank of a base word. Well, I can tell you a prefix is added to the beginning of a base word. Okay. A prefix blanks the meaning of a word. A prefix actually changes the meaning of a word. So with your word study words, you can see that some of the words, all of the words actually have prefixes. They have different prefixes. And for this week, we're focusing on un, which means not, re, which means again. Sorry about that, let me fix this. Sorry. Re, which means again. Non, which means not or without. Dis, which means opposite of or not. And pre, which means before. So let's take a look at our words that have the un, un prefix. I'm going to give you two examples. Unkind. So if someone is unkind, that means they are not kind. Then we have, so it's pretty much the opposite of kind, you're not kind. The second word is unhappy. So the base word here is happy. The prefix that is added is un. So instead of being happy and joyful, you are unhappy. So that changes the whole meaning of the word. So instead of happy, which means joyful, excited, you're unhappy, which means you're probably sad or disappointed. Okay? Next, we have re, which means again. So if I ask you to sit down and redo your work because it's sloppy, that means I'm asking you to do the work again. Or maybe you loved a video so much, you ask your mom to replay it. So if you're asking someone to replay, you're asking them to play it again. Now let's look at non. Some non-words that I have would be non-fat. I like to buy non-fat yogurt. That means it is without fat or it does not have fat. Okay? And then one of your spelling words is non-verbal. Some people are non-verbal. That means they are not verbal. Verbal means you can speak. Non-verbal means you're without speaking or you're not verbal, so you cannot speak. It changes the meaning of that word. Now let's look at dis, which means opposite of or not. So if I say you are disloyal, that means you are not loyal. You're the opposite of loyal. So loyal means someone can trust you. You're not going to change. Disloyal means, you know what? I can't really trust you. You're disloyal. May not keep those promises. Okay. Another one that we have is dislike. So it's the opposite of like. If I say, oh, you know what? I like soccer, but I dislike basketball. So like means, you know what, I enjoy soccer, but if I dislike basketball, I don't like it, I don't care for it, okay? Now, pre, which means before, and I want you to think of that when you hear the word prefix, because it actually starts with pre, so that tells you that it's going to go before the base word, okay? So pre, I have pretest. And sometimes if you're studying for a big test, you can actually take a pre-test, which is a test before the test. So it's almost like a something to measure where you're at for the test, okay? And then the next one is preheat, okay? And when you preheat something, you're basically, like, I'm sure you hear this with a recipe. It says to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So when you preheat something, you're heating before you cook the food, okay? So let's pay attention to the base words, okay? Because in order to identify the prefix, you must know what the base word is. So all of our base words here are in green, and you'll see kind, happy, do, play, fat, verbal, loyal, like, test, heat. These are all words that can stand on their own. They're complete words, whereas prefixes, un, re, non, dis, pre, these are not complete words. They need to be attached to a base word. So with prefixes, they will come before before the base word. And always remember, they do actually change the meaning of that word. Unkind is the opposite of kind. You're not kind. If I say you're unkind, that's almost like I'm saying, you know what, you're kind of mean, or you're not nice, okay? Once again, if you have any questions, if you need any help, I'm here. As well as if you are in Miss Jones' class or Miss Gresham's class, please feel free to ask them as well. All right, I hope